One day, a young woman was bathing in a river when out of nowhere she sees something shining at the bottom of the water. The object she couldn't identify was among the rocks. Upon picking it up, it turned out to be a gold ring. She put it on her finger and it fit perfectly, as if the ring was made for her. She started wearing the jewel from that day on. Its shine was intense and it gave off a different feeling. She began to covet everything that had material value, money, real estate, cars, feelings she never had before. When she embraced this desire, something bizarre started to happen. The next morning, upon waking up, she looks at her hand and it's closed. She feels like she's holding something. When she opens it, she sees gold coins and bizarrely, part of her finger with the ring is missing. It seems like the ring consumes parts of the body in exchange for coins. She was so greedy that she didn't care what happened to her body. In the young woman's mind, she had many fingers, and some being converted into gold coins wouldn't be missed. She didn't even stop to think how bizarre this was, what ring this was, where it came from, and what its purpose was. So every time she woke up, more coins appeared in her hand and she had fewer fingers. Her parents noticed something strange about their daughter and went to ask what was happening. But she was very aggressive and always hid what she was doing. She wore black gloves in order to disguise the lack of fingers. When they found out, her parents were shocked. They tried to forcibly remove the ring from the girl, but she didn't let them and ended up running away from home. She took all her coins without even saying goodbye. After a month away, she returned home weakened. Her worried parents took her to a hospital to treat her injuries. And to have tests, the girl no longer had any fingers on her hands. And feet, she said it seemed like she had been bewitched by that ring. And she felt like she was being controlled by a very strong impulse. She wanted more and more gold coins, but she ended up losing the ring and the coins. She couldn't hold on because she was missing fingers. So my friends, be careful when you find a gold ring. Before you put it on your finger, make sure it's not the ring of greed. One day, a man was returning to his home. It was exactly midnight. He was 4 blocks away from his residence, when suddenly he noticed something strange. He saw that where there was a vacant lot, there was a gigantic building. Since he had had some alcohol, he thought he was seeing things. He rubbed his eyes and looked again. It was an old and very strange building. How did this appear out of nowhere? He had lived since childhood in that place and was sure that there was no construction there. He approached to take a look through the glass. Lights turned on, revealing the hall. The brightness was so intense that he couldn't open his eyes for a few seconds. And when he could, piles and more piles of gold, precious stones scattered on the floor. He thought he was part of a prank and that the cameras would be hidden somewhere there. So he looked around the corners and found nothing. Then he went in, picked up a coin, and it was real. Greed took over him and he started filling his pockets with that scattered treasure. Immediately the clock that was there started a countdown. It gave a minute. So he kept picking up everything he could. There was no more space in his pants. He tried to put it in his underwear. He took off his shirt to try to put more quantity inside and use it as a bag. With 5 seconds left, he runs out of the building thinking something was going to happen. He wasn't sure if he was part of a prank or something like that. He was carrying a lot of stuff. That he got stuck at the exit, man. He didn't want to leave anything behind that he had picked up. And at that moment, when the countdown reached 0, the door closed and the building that had appeared there mysteriously disappeared. After 6 years, 6 months, and 6 days, when midnight comes, the building will appear somewhere else and repeat its test. The person has exactly 1 minute to grab whatever they want and get out in time before the door closes. If they are overcome by greed and fail, they will remain in that building forever and will never be able to free themselves. Legend has it that Building Grid is a creature that tests people and collects the souls of those who perish there. So my friends, be careful when you see an abandoned building full of gold inside. It could be that it's Building Grid wanting to test you. Get me out of here! I want to get out of here! For a long time, there's been a story of a lady wandering on the outskirts of big cities, helping those who are hungry, offering them food, always on a corner with her cart, exuding a delicious smell of stew. She served the homeless wherever she went, very kind and caring towards people. She always had a plate of food for someone in need. The news spread, and you could see a huge number of people lining up in search of a dinner. There came a time when the lady became so popular that more than 500 people were lining up in front of her cart. People from all corners of the city would go wherever she was. But unfortunately, the soup lady was already out of resources. She could no longer feed so many people every day. It started to become unfeasible to perform this act of kindness for people. People who counted on her help. What do you mean you won't be able to feed us anymore? This is absurd. I walked 5 kilometers to get here and have dinner. Are you saying you're going to let us starve? You ended up giving hope to the hungry. And the next night, here comes the soup lady. She didn't abandon us. She came from the heavens to save us. Thank you, Mom. God has reserved your place by His side, it continued. Every night there were soups in various parts of the city. But what no one expected was that with each passing day, fewer people showed up. The number gradually decreased until something bizarre was discovered. The police had reports of disappearances of homeless people and found clues that the lady who served the soup was behind these disappearances. She was using them to make her soup and feeding the same ones. To what extent did she go? From a kind person who helped everyone to a serial killer. So my friends, beware of the old soup lady. She might be just a step away from you.